Hello, this is Jordan Brunt, and this is my BCM 303 research and development process where I'll be interviewing a creative professional. Today I'm joined with my mom, who is actually owns her own business, and I'll allow her to introduce herself. So, if you'd like to introduce yourself, and for someone who's not familiar with your business and occupation, how would you describe what you do and what your business is all about?
My name is Tricia Brunt. I run an international freight forwarding company, deals with cargo. We primarily export cargo out of Australia to Pacific Islands or anywhere else, but primarily to the Pacific Islands. We do import, but very, very minimal amount of imports, but mostly exports.
Yeah. As the manager and owner of the business, would you say, how would you describe your day-to-day operations as having employees and stuff like that? How would you describe what you do on a normal daily basis?
Managing staff, managing operations, everybody plays a role in the business. We have an operations manager who handles what you call full container loads. People call in, or customers, both commercial for commercial cargo and personal effects. They call in if they want to ship their cargo in a full container, 20-footer or a 40-foot container. We have somebody that looks after that. But if you want to ship personal effects in smaller packages like a pallet, carton, or drum, then we also have staff that look after those bookings.
Yeah. So a more specific aspect of the United Pacific that I'd like to discuss further on was a lot of your promotional marketing posts that you did in the past previously with a lot of some products that you ship out to your clients, which is Savali Popo and Tala that you've done, I think, before in the past that I've witnessed. What would you say is the importance of image of not only the products that you sell, but the image of the business in a client-based operation?
It is important. When we imported an Savati Popo coconut cream exclusively into Australia, we had to attend trade shows. Of course, people, when in a market where there's a lot of coconut cream brands, of course, ours had to stand out. So we had to attend a lot of trade shows, do a lot of promotions on social media, via radio, via donations and sponsorship of community programs that, of course, is filled with people that uses the product and are used to our coconut cream and can spread the word. We rely mostly on word of mouth, frequenting. So we spent a lot of time, we invested a lot of time going to Brisbane, Melbourne, and doing a lot of taste testings in Sydney to be able to get that image to stand out in people's heads so they would buy the product over the competitors.
Yeah. And so you've done have to do a lot of technical things on the business side, but I know previously you've done other hobbies that kind of explore your creativity as well. Because I know you've also created posters, but in the past I know you've also done other hobbies, I guess. What are some inspirations for these promotional ideas for these posters and stuff like this? Do you have any
Well, in running a business and in times like COVID, when something like that happens, businesses downsize, got to be watchful of our budgets and stuff. The priority is being able to pay your staff. So of course you have to be creative. You will not have a generous budget for marketing. So in order to still have promotional materials out there for the business, we've had to mostly, for example, myself, I've had to teach myself to use different apps, Photoshops, and programs that can actually create posters or short videos so we can post it on social media. We've had to cut costs left, right, and center. So we had to be creative in not only, self-teaching ourselves with social media, using cheaper options of getting materials printed. For example, one of the best options out there is Vistaprint. When we make our own creation, send it through, it's way cheaper that way. And the customers love it. So without having to spend so much money buying promotional goods, we were getting freebies from our commercial customers and giving it to our clientele as well.
Yeah. So moving on to a more collaborative aspect of working with employees and your colleagues, United Pacific Freight is a family-oriented business. How would you describe the importance of effective communication in a workplace like that? And would you say that it's better with family members opposed to outsiders?
There's pros and cons in having family work in a business. Of course, it's easier to communicate what you want done with family members, and there's an understanding there where makes it easier. There's no awkwardness. Very straightforward communications when it comes to family. Then we've got our operations manager, which is my brother, and he majored in university in marketing, but he's doing operations. So everybody's flexible in that sense.
And moving on to the last question, the creative brief for my subject is engaging the audience with a fact-based dream or possible futures. So trying to depict a possible future through different research abilities, I guess. How does yourself and your business align with this brief?
The clientele that we deal with are, for example, in the Pacific Islands, they're very strong in culture. So culture, in that sense, it plays a big role in sustaining our business. They are people that have migrated overseas for the betterment of their families. And so, for example, island people, it's in their nature to look after the elderly, to look after every member of their families, the disadvantaged. It's like a must. Shipping is a must because they need to help their families overseas. We provide the service, and we also try to provide added services like money transfers, so that we have a one-stop shop. We bring in imports of products that they like, for example, the coconut cream and balsami, and we wholesale it we make it available to convenience stores where they can still have a taste of home while they're working here and sending money back and sending secondhand goods, lounge chairs, TVs, things that their families otherwise wouldn't be able to afford to have.
All right. I think that's about it. I'd like to thank my mom here for joining me on this interview. And any parting words?
Well, if you need any more info, you can email me. But hopefully, anybody that goes to uni, you don't have to limit yourselves to just thinking that you have to have a 9-to-5 job working for somebody else. You have to have that experience by working for somebody else. But the ultimate dream of each student should be to be able to do their own thing. We are able to allow people to work from on the road or at home in certain circumstances, unless we're packing shipping containers, then it's a different story. But after you get that experience, you too can look at what you're passionate about and create your own business. don't think that you might, after graduation, you must work for somebody else for the rest of your life. Got to be creative in that way.
Yeah. All right. Thank you again.
Thank you.